Alright, so this is a bit overdue. Somebody commented, I think a few weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago, just on a update of the DM870. Technically, it's no longer mine anymore. Just waiting a couple more payments from a friend who bought it. I hate to sell it. It's really cool and unique, but I just probably would never use it. I really don't play indoors, which is what I built this for. I mean, it's really cool and it's really fun to have, but just, I've never used it. I maybe used it once or twice in an actual game, and it's fun. Just, I don't play indoors anymore. It's just been sitting around for who knows how many months, but he'll probably get some good use out of it. Gave him a good deal because he's my friend. But as much as I hate to see her go, she just doesn't get used, so I sold it. Anyway, not much has changed, besides I got a rail / rear sight and a front fiber optic sight in there. Wasn't able to find or get a barrel extension, or not barrel extension, a magazine tube extension. But not really my worry anymore. The rail and sights are Dominator. Like I said in past videos, it does use a Mossberg type thread pattern on the receiver, so you could maybe with a little modification or some modification use real Mossberg rail or sights. I just got it from Dominator. I'm not from Dominator. I think I got it from, where did I get it from? I think I got it either from Crown Airsoft or don't remember where. But if you just look up Dominator DM870 sights, you'll probably be able to find it. But other than that, nothing much has changed. The conversion has been holding up real well. No issues with the firing pin. I had that one out of all the use I've done with it. Maybe I haven't used it in a game, but I've definitely played around the house with it a lot. So it's definitely had a lot of pumps through it. But I did have one issue about a week after I did the conversion where the firing pin got stuck forward, so when you racked a new shell into the chamber, it would actually fire it. Of course, not safe and not usable at all. But after I took the firing pin out, cleaned it, relubed it, put it back in, I haven't had that issue. So I think that's just because the parts were wearing in, since it was a pretty custom mod. That, or maybe I got some metal filing or shaving stuck in it. But it's all good now. Haven't really done any mods other than the modification to fire APS shells. Not much I can say about it right now. Everything's been holding up after months of pumping it hard, of doing demonstration for friends, showing how tough it is. Like I've put it through some serious paces. Definitely haven't babied it at all because, I mean, it's a DM870, you don't have to. I've literally butt stroked other airsoft guns to break it. My friend had an old MP7 laying around. Took the DM870, used the butt stock, and just broke that. I didn't break it, but I bent the the whole body of the MP7. Everything else is held up fine. I pumped the shotgun one-handed, like, you know, Terminator style. No issue. That's a big no-no with the cam870s, obviously, but I have no doubts with this. With the steel action arms, the brazed in magazine tube, the overall complete steel construction, I pump it one-handed all the time because it's just fun. So I literally do all the things you can't do with a DM870. I do it with this because I know it can handle it, and it does. I've had no issues with the cycling of the action. It's still smooth. See if I can show it one-handed. It's still smooth. The only resistance you actually really feel is the hammer, because you're cocking the hammer. This is when this right here, you feel the resistance of the hammer being pushed down, cocked, rearward, forward. Still smooth, and I haven't even polished it. I know a lot of people with cam870s, they polish the rails inside, they polish the action arms. I haven't polished anything on here, and it's smooth. So I'm sure if he wants, I can polish up the rails for him if he wants, but it's still smooth as is. So even with I've torqued, I'm putting pressure, I'm trying to twist it, still smooth. I love this action. I'm gonna miss it. But yeah, I haven't maybe used it a lot during games or at events. I've definitely used it a lot around the house. I've got to say, this is one of my favorite guns just to mess around with in the house when you're bored. Take it apart, clean it, put it back together, and just start pumping it like it's no tomorrow. Just having overall fun with it. Yeah, it's seen a lot of use, not on the field. Let's just say that. I wish I could have used it more on the field. Just I play outdoors in the range. It's a shotgun, so there's not much range. And obviously there's no hop up, so your range is also limited by that, plus this spread. But I really wish I could have used this in indoors. I just never got around to going indoors in the past, I think 2 years now almost. I haven't gone indoors. So I'll miss her. She's a lot of fun, but it's held up. If you want, you can comment on this video. You know who you are. If there was anything specific you wanted me to cover, just comment and I'll see if I can describe it to you. If not, I'll re-upload another video. But yeah, this is a phenomenal gun. I wish it wasn't so hard to get. I wish they weren't so expensive to get because of how hard they are to get, but maybe in the future I might get another one. I always say that. I might do it with this one because it's just fun. But it's great. Yeah, there's not much I can say because besides the actual modification to fire cam870 shells, no other modifications really need to make this run well. Just keep it well lubricated. As you can see like lubrication spots. I put a good amount of lube on here. Being steel, I don't want it to rust either, so I always do a light coat of CLP along the outside and the inside of the receiver just to make sure everything is nice. It has a good coat to keep it protected. But yeah. Oh, I guess the one thing I should mention for the rear peep sight and rail section, the screws you don't have to modify, but for the front sight you do, because like I said, this originally had an inner barrel, so the screw that came with the front sight, I can get an angle on it. There you go. The screw for the front sight actually does protrude quite a bit into the barrel. Obviously, if it's converted to APS shells for cam870s, you're gonna have to shorten that screw, or else your wad and BBs are gonna hit that, and that's not gonna be a good day. But yeah, I just cut it, screwed it in, and I took some sandpaper and a little file, and I just brought it down so it's smooth, so you can barely feel that. Yeah, I don't feel that at all. So that's about it. I'm gonna miss it. Like I said, if you have any actual extra questions or anything you want me to talk about specifically, just let me know. Other than that, it's been a good almost a year of owning it, and I'd say I pick it up maybe 2-3 times a week and mess around with it and play with it around the house. But other than that, no signs of any issues besides that one with the firing pin, but that's because of the conversion. you do the conversion, just make sure you keep an eye, make sure the bolt and the firing pin, there's no debris or any what do you call it, burrs from the modification that will cause a firing pin to stick. If it does, the bolt is really easy to take out of the gun, so it's a pretty easy fix. You'll be missed, and maybe I'll see you again in the future.